some really, really happy fans, great entertainment, Bollywood stars, and outstanding basketball.
For the first time in history, professional basketball came to India, supported by high-ranking sports ministers and Bollywood stars. Indian fans had new sports heroes to celebrate. And when the Chennai Slam clinched the first UBA championship, the ensuing celebration signaled a fresh beginning for a new generation of Indian basketball players and fans.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of Inside the UBA. I'm Paul Crane. We're here in Phoenix, Arizona, in the southwestern United States for a first-of-its-kind professional basketball training camp, as the United Basketball Alliance has brought 9 players from India here for a 2-week training period, so they and other players from India can better prepare themselves for their futures in professional basketball. And these 9 got themselves an opportunity of a lifetime.
On the turnover, Robbie the steal and the basket. Big rebound by Robbie. Taken away by Pune. They've got numbers and PBJ with a slam dunk. From outside, rattles it home. Good beer, hits the jump shot. Tape knocks it home. Tape and a strong basket. It's a 2. Ajinkia for 3. Ajinkia, 3-point shot. Taj, strong drive. Taj, the way outside, hits the 3-pointer. Graham, Graham on the drive, count the basket. He knew what he wanted to do there, and he did it. Gary underneath, spinning and scoring.
The first ever steps on United States soil for 9 of India's most talented basketball players comes after a long, long day of air travel. The excitement of what lies ahead is momentarily tempered by the exhaustion of their journey halfway around the world. The clock nears midnight as the players travel the Phoenix freeways, each one lost in his own thoughts of expectation. For 2 weeks, they will be exposed to some of America's top coaching. But for now, these players are simply glad to be reaching the hotel they'll call home for the next 2 weeks.
So the trip was very long. We are feeling very tired, but it's good. We are very excited.
Trip was a bit hectic because we had to wait for 8 hours at the London airport and we had to travel 18 hours. And India, it is time we get up right now.
I think this is pretty amazing where we got this opportunity to come here. I never really thought or dreamt that I'm going to come here through Indian basketball, but UBA helped me a lot to come here and really appreciate whatever we've got through UBA.
Is this the easiest shot in basketball? Make them stop you. If they don't stop you, they didn't do their job. Go, 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 go!
What's coming next would be one of the most demanding days any of these players had ever experienced. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to this special edition of Inside the UBA. Here in Phoenix, Arizona, the players attending the first UBA Pro Training Camp were put to the test early and often.
The players' new basketball home would be a local gym where very early on day one, barely 7 hours after their lengthy journey had come to an end, their basketball journey began meeting Coach Jody Basie.
First of all, welcome to the U.S. We've looked at a lot of video and you guys are amazing athletes. That's why you're here.
The first order of business was the new UBA practice gear for everyone.
Amazing stuff.
We're going to do a warm-up. It's going to take about 15 minutes. The most important thing we do as far as warming up as professional athletes and great amateur athletes, the most important thing we do is make sure we warm up well. We're going to do high knees. So I want your knee coming up at least parallel with the ground. You're going to run opposite foot. I want you to pound it hard. Stay on your toes. Don't hit your heels on the ground. So plant it all the way to the half court. Ready? Go! Go! Go!
Stretching would be followed by all sorts of drills to determine speed, agility, and stamina.
On you. Go, go, go. Push, push, push. Stop and go, stop and go. 4, 3, 5. Quick, 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 quick. Push, 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 push. 4.39. Excellent. Okay. 7:10. 7:11. 9:3.
There was one drill no one will ever forget, which pushed every player to their supreme limit. It's called 17s.
The blue sideline over there, you're going to touch the line with your foot. Come back, so that's 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your end is going to be over there. So after 16 will be here, 17 will finish you over there. All right? Go! Touch and go, touch and go. 2. 112 and 113. So Ravi, 112. And check deep, 113. Okay. 102, 103, 104.
The toughest part of the first day was running 17 from this baseline to the other baseline.
I think they had one person that made it in 1 minute. And it wasn't because they weren't good enough, it's because they weren't in shape enough as basketball players.
Yeah, I actually couldn't make it. It was pretty exhausting for me.
Let's get a break. UBA, let's go get lunch. 1, 2, 3, UBA. 1, 2, 3, UBA!
During lunch, the teaching continued.
How long was that pass? Was 25 feet. No one moved.
Before heading back to the court for another 2 hours of basketball.
So it's going to be a 3-on-2 fast break this way and a 2-on-1 fast break this way. Do not saunter up the court. Once you realize that your team has the ball and you don't, your job is to beat the ball. So if you're my dribbler and you're up ahead of me, go. My job is to beat you down the court so I'm ready for that cut layup. All right? So I'm ahead of you, so you're not looking for me to be there. You already know where I'm at. Shot the ball, beat it back, beat it back, beat it back, beat it back. Stop the ball, stop the ball, stop the ball. Attack the ball, attack the ball, attack the ball, come to the ball. All right.
We have done these drills in India before, but coach was
like pointing out even the small mistakes that we used to make earlier, and he has make us better than before.
No dribble, catch and shoot. Good, excellent. They still got 2 hours of conditioning to go, so hopefully everyone's able to survive today still.
The players would meet with one of the most respected trainers in America, Keith Wilson, who has worked with dozens of top professional athletes in many sports.
I have a game plan, and I have a plan of attack, and I have things ready to go. But it'll be interesting. We're going to be modifying a lot, I'm sure. Nice. That away.
The hardest thing was the strength training. After practicing for 4 hours on the court and going for strength training for 2 hours, it was quite exhausting.
That away. There you go, come on, back, let's go, come on.
The hardest was the rope part. We had to do 30 seconds of rope. So that was the hardest.
The toughest part for me of all the practice was to do warm up again and again. That was the toughest for me. Anything else was like I wanted to do it from my heart.
On the first day, it was very hard.
As soon as I got here, the first day of my practice training camp, I think I was washed out of my energy. I was totally drained.
And all that was just the beginning. Still ahead, so much more on the court and off. But up next, the players' first real physical test, and it comes against one of America's top professional athletes.
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona. This first UBA Pro Training Camp provided the players who made the journey several challenges, including going against former Super Bowl MVP Kurt Warner and friends at Warner's home gym.
Nice to meet you.
At the age of 44, Warner has been retired from the NFL for 6 years. But the one-time professional athlete is a lifelong basketball enthusiast. That showed in what became a very physical scrimmage of 4-on-4, and another valuable lesson for the UBA Stars.
Kurt's a football player. He owns his space. He's not going to give it up to you. So you better beat him to the space so you own it first.
I'm always going to compete. That's kind of one of the reasons we wanted to do it, is just kind of get them in here and run them around a little bit and compete so they can kind of see, you know, what that level's like, you know, even though it's just in a practice setting like this.
At first, I saw how quick our guys actually are.
I was trying to compete, and if you watch the scrimmage, I was trying to compete.
Kurt Warner is a really big player, a celebrity, American celebrity. He was a very physical player. It was hard to defense.
What was it like in this kind of a setting against those athletes?
It feels very good. I have played with better players than this.
It was a good skill, which, you know, seeing guys shoot from outside and being able to drive to the bucket.
He said he feels good when he's dunk. It feels amazing. I learn every aspect of the game. It's good to be physically very strong, and you have to get better skills like those players. They were like just normal players of America, and we were like the best of India. So you can see the difference.
The first 5 minutes I had particular 4 on the court, and they were moving the ball really well. And then they got a little tired.
They were very physical. They were physically very strong players. So we were not up to that mark. So it was a quite hard game for me, especially. So I look forward to gain physical strength and play better in future.
The physical part of it, understanding how physical you can be in this sport, especially with the size of some of these guys. So it's been good. And then I think the other part is just, keep running them. And when you get tired, you got to keep going or you got to get out. You see some little walking here and there down the court.
Kurt and his crew were very fast and very fundamentally sound. Kurt did a good job of moving the ball, passing the ball. The team would reverse the ball, and our guys, again, wouldn't be outside, and that would hurt us a lot.
Had a way to move it. Had a way to move it. I think, again, I think it's all a learning experience. So I think they're learning how to move away from the ball. I think they're learning how to help on screens. Something I don't know the game in India, but knowing that I'm seeing them having trouble when we're setting screens.
What we learned today is it's important to play help side defense. Move to the ball, move through the ball, especially when you're away from the ball and your guy doesn't have the ball. Worry about him later, stop the guy with the ball.
What did you learn out here in this competition?
That we have to be physical. A lot of physical fitness, and we need a lot more endurance. We have to work on it.
It's more than anything just about them learning how to be pros.
How surprised, if at all, were you by Kurt Warner in particular? He's a retired, older athlete. He's in his 40s in terms of how hard he played and what it was like to go against him.
He was a very physical player. I thought he's around 30. So he's a very fit person and very strong.
Just kind of always trying to push that, that level of enthusiasm, that level of focus, commitment.
I think they're going to want to go home and work right now. So I think they can't wait to practice this afternoon. I think they're going to be motivated. They're going to be running hard this afternoon. That was probably the best thing we got out of this.
Just keep pushing it up so they realize, we just got to keep getting better. Even though we might be the best in India, let's keep excelling.
The UBA players would do exactly that after their experience competing against an American professional athlete like Kurt Warner. That scrimmage at Warner's was just the first of several physical scrimmages. Coming up, we will see what the UBA players learned and how they improved. But up next, a former NBA champion who played with Michael Jordan gives the UBA Stars an invaluable lesson.
No matter what language you speak, no matter what country you're from, everybody has the aspiration of being the best.
Few people have learned how to aspire to greatness better than Joe Courtney. An NBA champion who played with Michael Jordan, Courtney shared some important lessons with the UBA players.
You're talking to a guy here now, or listening to a guy who played in the NBA, but I picked up the basketball my first time, my 10th grade year in high school. Okay, so I was 15 years old the first time I touched a basketball. Matter of fact, the first time that the coach threw me the basketball, it hit me in the face, rolled off my feet. The coach put his head down and said, "This is going to be a long journey."
Courtney played college basketball but did not get drafted by the NBA. What he did was get himself to a tryout camp for the Chicago Bulls where he refused to be denied.
Well, here's that line, right? Most people are straddling this line. They're saying, I want professional basketball or this if it's comfortable. I want professional sports. I want to be the best if it works around my schedule. I want professional sports. I want if on my terms. What you're going to learn as you grow through this is that to be great, it's not comfortable at all. Matter of fact, to be great and make it somewhere, you have to master being uncomfortable. See, if I was straddling the line, when I showed up to the Chicago Bulls training camp and there were 67 guys competing for one jersey, $67 for one jersey. If I would have been straddling and hadn't made a clear, definitive choice, if it was deciding, my confidence level could have kicked back and I would have went home.
Courtney earned his place, then set out to do more than just make the team.
Okay, so what is it going to take me to actually make it? Then I started studying the best. Okay? Then I started researching for information. How many jump shots does Michael Jordan shoot? How many practice jump shots he shoots? And so I came up with this plan. And that plan got me to training camp. Man, I went to Michael Jordan's workout facility. I met Tim Grover. We started at 7 a.m. He drilled me for about an hour and 40 minutes. Just drills. Then he says, okay, your workout partner's coming here, right? All of a sudden, the elevator, Chicago Athletic Club, second floor, opens. He goes, okay, he's here. Out walks from the elevator Michael Jordan. I stood up, he goes, it's time to work out. I go, well, what did I just do for an hour and 45 minutes? You know, I was on my schedule. I was on my schedule. I wasn't on the elite schedule, what it takes to be the best. I was on my own. I had to figure it out. My plan was set. What do you mean? See, I was on this side. You're interrupting my comfort zone here, right? We proceeded to work out for another 2 hours and a half. But here's what happened. One day, this changed my life forever. And all of a sudden I had a breakthrough. I got this type of wind that filled up my chest. And my mind took over. That within 2 weeks from that point, I was jumping from the free throw line. Yeah, me. Look, me. I was jumping from the free throw line. I was jumping from the free throw in front of Michael Jordan. Okay? I was doing things that I never thought I could do.
Yeah, he was very motivational. We very got pumped up by his speech.
I'm going to follow whatever he said from now on, and I really needed that push for today.
Michael Jordan was so great because he mastered being uncomfortable. He worked harder and more efficiently than anybody else did. I asked him one simple question. I said, Michael, let me ask you a question. I said, what is it that you think that makes you great? He said, Joe, most people compete against each other. He says, I compete against myself. And that's the difference.
He said that you have to, if you want to achieve anything in life, not just NBA, if you want to achieve, and it's not about NBA. If you have any goal, you have to make plans for it. And you have to be uncomfortable. If you feel that you can achieve anything you want being comfortable, that's not possible.
The last thing I want to share with you guys is you have to have a plan to actually get where you're trying to go. So you want to be the top in your game, in your league. What is your plan to get there? Is it written down on paper? It should be documented. You should recite it every single morning, every single evening.
But now I can see my game to a next level now. Before, like, I can plan it up now. I didn't have a stage to plan it up, but now it's good.
To be a professional, you have to have a plan. You have to cast vision. You have to know what you're doing every day to go towards your goal. It can't be random.
What I've heard from Joe right now, I think it's going to help me plan it up for my future. Yeah.
The future for these UBA players is bright, and making that true is clearly the plan. Coming up, some interesting moments away from the UBA training camp. But first, going against another physical player with evidence of lessons learned. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona, where the UBA players continued to work on improving the physical part of their basketball games. The players took part in more scrimmages, including some against another former professional football player, John Carlson. A tight end who was drafted in the second round, Carlson recently retired after 7 seasons with 3 NFL teams. Carlson played his college football at Notre Dame, but could have played basketball as he was an All-American basketball player in high school. Carlson used those skills to help the UBA players improve theirs.
Football players are excellent about body spacing. They're excellent about controlling their area around them.
I'm just having a blast being out here meeting these guys.
the intercultural kind of exchange is really cool, and I think that's one of the best things about sport, where it brings people together from very diverse backgrounds. I experienced that growing up within this country, but now it's an international experience, and it's really cool.
Another talented player helping out is Ray Jewell, who played Division I college basketball at highly regarded Gonzaga University in Spokane, Washington.
These guys have done well this week, and they definitely improved since Monday, since I started with them, and I'm actually very impressed with the way that they have been able to be very coachable.
Of course, receiving coaching is the main reason for the journey to the United States.
Hustle back, beat the ball, beat the ball. Find your guy, find your person, find your person. Challenge the ball, Taj, go get the ball, go get the ball. We're jogging down the court. I can't tell if they're tired. We've been working 6.5 hours a day. So their legs are probably tired, but they got to force themselves to push it past that right now. Beat the ball! Sprint back, sprint back, sprint back! Stop the ball!
We made the basket. We all started celebrating it like good shots, like tapping each other. But he said you have to fall back.
Why are we walking down the court? You're frustrated?
No. Okay. Actually, if you move properly, it is not hard. It is easy, but we don't know what time to move and what time to do helping defense. That is it. And we are not running behind after we make the shot.
Move the ball up! Why are we jogging, Wings? Wings should already be up the court. That's going to be an ongoing training thing. Again, I'm not sure how much of it's not being translated from me speaking as fast as I do. I talk fast for someone who speaks English, so one thing I got to do is make sure. That's why I try to stop the game and show them visually. This is what needs to happen. You were down, where you were coming here, and you were here. I don't need you here. I need you here. This is where the ball is. If he makes that quick pass here, I can still come back. But if you're standing here, you're leaving that gap because she's not going to score behind the backboard anyway. All right? Here we go. Yellow, still your ball. Let's go.
We have learned to change the defense, how to take the picks and change the guard and who we have to guard. The fundamentals, he's teaching us all the fundamentals, and we are getting better and better.
Okay, we had one person when the shot went up. Everyone else is bailing. Oh, they shot a shot. We're going to make it. Everyone crashed the board. Remember, we want a triangle anytime an offensive shot goes up. We want someone here, we want someone here, and we want someone here.
We played yesterday, and between yesterday and today, they really picked up their intensity defensively. So they're getting after the ball. They're playing better help defense, and they're making it hard to pass offensively.
The learning curve remained steep at the offensive end of the floor as well. The players from India often found themselves shooting too early in the possession from too far away. Coach Jody spent a lot of time working with them to pass the ball more in hopes of creating a layup or other easy shots.
What's the one thing I said we're not going to do? One pass and a shot. 3 to 4 passes, we can take that. We're trying to create a transition game where they get the ball quickly up the court, get it out to the guard, get it up to the wing. Then we have our 4 or 5, whoever didn't take the ball out on this end, sprint down to the other end, be under the basket and see if we can force them to get an easy basket or at least end up at the free throw line.
First of all, each and every player have to learn that they don't have to be selfish. Like lots of people, just ball comes, they just shoot the ball.
And our 4s and 5s, the big guys, they're already tired, their legs are hurting, and they're not getting there.
We are not that fit because we were not working out like this before coming to the camp, so it was quite hard.
Offensively as well, they're more aggressive. They're doing well when they have the advantage of pressing the ball, pushing it, making us defensively having to commit, and then getting it to the open guy for layups. So it's been fun to see so much progress just in one day.
The UBA looks to its players for CAP, character, attitude, performance, competition, allegiance, passion, 2-cap, and all were on display here in Phoenix, Arizona. While each of the players who made this journey showed all of these qualities throughout, none showed more character or a better attitude than Jagdeep Singh Bains. The only player on the trip who did not play in UBA Season 1 did make his presence known in UBA Pro Training almost immediately.
First he was a little bit worn down. That flight hurt him a little bit. I know he's had some back injuries. So it took him a day or so to get back on track.
Jagdeep looked every bit the star he has been in India until getting hurt on the second day of training.
But he just happened to land just a certain way on his own foot, and it turned out to be a fracture.
Jagdeep spent the rest of his trip in a walking boot, doing what he could for himself to stay fit and always helping his new teammates.
He's a leader to these kids. These kids respect him, they look up to him. They respect his opinion most of all. Jog really likes what's going on here. He likes the things we're doing. We need to pay attention. That's what he tells us most of the time. Pay attention to what you're getting.
And the players were definitely paying attention. Coming up, we will see how they improved and in what areas. But this trip also had some memorable moments from coming to America, including a trip to an NBA game. And some of those are next. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona, where the first ever UBA Pro Training Camp had a lot of fun to go with all the hard work. UBA Chairman Tommy Fisher and his family opened their beautiful home to the players one night. There was plenty of food, drink, and talk, but some games as well, and one new one for the Indian basketball players. The Fisher home includes a racquetball court for a game that's very demanding both physically and mentally with all its angles. Racquetball became one more challenge for these athletes.
I've seen tennis and I've seen squash, but I've never come across a game called racquetball. We know about badminton, tennis and squash also, but racquetball is different. The court is awesome, and even we use that volleyball court also. It's good.
And sure enough, before the night was done, the players played what they were familiar and comfortable with, volleyball. And Kef made one new friend, the Fisher family pet. One of the trip's most meaningful moments came when players visited a Fisher Industries site where rock gets crushed into sand used for making roads. Not only is this the business which backs the UBA, but it's a family affair that now reaches to athletes in India.
So my father and mother started the company. My father's no longer alive, but he started basically shoveling sand by hand and dumping it over a plain stream. That's it. One shovel, one man, a lot of determination. Sort of like how we're starting the UBA.
That determination with a vision has created a hugely successful construction business with a model for success which these players can also use.
So everything about roads are consistency, just like in basketball. Coach was on you. If you guys play consistent, you play better. If you play as a team, you play better. So if you look at all this equipment, imagine this is one basketball team. If you have one piece of equipment that's a little bit weak and not performing or not producing, in our business, it shuts down the whole game. So really in business or basketball, consistency and teamwork is very important.
The UBA players also got to experience professional sports in the United States. American football is enormously popular, and the players attended an NFL game between the Arizona Cardinals and visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The stadium and the atmosphere was fun, but when the Cardinals won on a last-second field goal as time expired, well, the Cardinals found themselves some new fans. As fun as that night was, for these basketball players, a most special moment came attending an NBA game. The actual Phoenix Suns game was secondary to the experience itself, which included the Suns allowing the UBA players to cut down the nets when it was all over.
I think that was a dream come true. Whereas I never expected that I'm going to see an NBA game live.
It was a dream come true to watch the first NBA live match, which I had been dreaming to watch it. So I'd like to thank UBA for making it come true.
That was like one of the biggest things in our lives. NBA match, that was a dream too.
it's a big thing. Like, we can't explain it in words. No words for it.
It was a dream come true. Yes, we all have a dream to see the NBA game, but the bigger dream is to play with them.
And the players would get their chance. Almost. Coming up next, their scrimmage against some players who did play in the NBA, which became an eye-opener for everyone. The players who took part in the first ever UBA Pro Training in the United States were certainly pushed to their limits, but they also made sure their hard work began paying off.
It was a great experience for me this 15 days. I'm going to take a lot back.
It's just small fundamentals.
Believe it or not, I don't want you making the pass. I don't want you making the interception with this hand. Why not? Because if I miss it, I'm already turned this way. He's on my backside and I'm in trouble. So if I go for the ball and I miss it, so go ahead, let's pass the ball again. This time I'm here and I recovered. See the difference?
We used to waste a lot of time by getting the ball slowly and all, but coach taught us here that the ball has to be fast.
Anytime you're doing a fast break, what's the most amount of passes you want to do when you make the pass? 2. That's the most amount of passes you make. Once you've made the third pass, it's no longer a fast break.
Help side defense.
Back here, help side. Good. Help, help, help. You can see it, you can see it.
It's so easy once you know that the details of the defense, what we need to keep in our head, and we didn't have those details before in our head.
You're fine. You're actually, your feet were in the right place. Yeah. Your head was looking this way.
Yeah, that was.
Coach was teaching us about the vision.
Having the person in just the edge of your vision, you kind of go, is he kind of there? And you have to turn your head to find out.
And to move when ball is in the air.
Remember, recover while the ball's in the air, when the ball's in the air.
We used to move when the person gets the ball, but now we move when ball is in the air. So it's a huge difference if you do it. Huge difference.
I am a big guy, but yeah, that's a plus point to me, but I have to be physically stronger. As you can see, there were shorter guys than me who were bulky, stronger than me. They were just pushing me out, not letting me in, so it quite affected my game.
Players have learned the importance of conditioning to being able to play basketball at the highest of levels.
We get them after they've been on the court 2 times during the day. They played 2 games today. They're wore down and beat up when we get them, but they're able to pick themselves up and go after it every day with us.
The drills we are doing, the circuit training, is all everything for strength, and it's very different the way we used to do in India.
My speed's increased and I feel stronger in upper body. Now I can push people on. I couldn't before, but now I can.
Where they're at now and compared to where they were, I mean, just the understanding of their own body is significantly better. Jump, 6. Yes.
There are many machines which are, I think, specifically for jumping, for vertical, for our calves, the squats, the sumo squats. There are many kind of things which are going to help for our vertical leaps and to move faster in basketball.
Of all the characteristics that may describe professional athletes, none may be stronger than being competitive. For the players who came to the United States to train with the UBA here in Phoenix, Arizona, they continued to get their chance to compete.
On the final full day of training, the UBA players scrimmaged against a team of former major college players who are now pros, including 2 who have played with NBA teams. Alex Scales, who played at the University of Oregon, then with the San Antonio Spurs, and Tommy Smith, who played at Arizona State and was drafted by the Chicago Bulls. And this competition did not disappoint.
Box him out! You're turning your back to somebody's guy. Hustle back. We got lucky he didn't take the layup, guys. No help side defense. Nice, BJ. Nice. Hustle back. Help go to him. Finish. No, beat it back. Do not jog back here. Get down, get your butt down, Pick away. Get back and set up. Nice shot, 5.
They transitioned better than they had been the whole time. They did some really good help side defense. They transitioned better down the court.
Good job, Ojenkia. Good defense. Way to stop the ball.
You're saying that it was good to play like the ex-NBA players. They have played in D-League also and main NBA league also. So it was a great experience to play with them. But his confidence he's saying that his confidence is now grown up after playing with such good players.
They get up and down, they jump, they can run, they can play. I don't know if you saw the block. Yeah, he was clear above the rim, like he was above the square when he blocked it.
How do you feel about that block?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think we helped them in a big way, just showing them, guys who play D1 and have some pro experience. We give them, just a little bit to see how it is, a little taste of what's out there.
Basketball is one language. It's global. It's definitely global, and it's good all around. They're pretty good. They have some talent that can be worthwhile.
We learned that we have to be more powerful, and we have to work a lot. They were one of the best players in US. They played in D-League, NBA, so it was a great experience. We are glad that we played with them, and we are going to improve a lot after this.
The God-given ability is there, the talent's there. You can tell the work ethic is there because they're getting better and they're with the coach who's making them better players.
Follow your own shot. Box out, guys. Do not jog back.
And they've made a lot of progress in just 3 short days that we started scrimmaging. So I'm really proud of them.
And that pride would be evident as this magical journey came to an end. We're back in a moment.
No, we're at the end. I'm a little sad. I really enjoyed the kids. I've come to have a respect for each one of them individually.
In many ways, it was a long 2 weeks for the players who came to the United States, but in others, it was way too short. Each and every one of them is leaving a better player than when he arrived.
And Gary, this kid is 19 years old. He's the most competitive person here probably. He doesn't like to lose. He will push it, he'll push it. And the only thing he needs to work on is his finishes. Let's talk about KF. This is a kid who's one of the best athletes I think I've ever seen. He can, like right now, I'd say if I was a track coach, I'd grab him and make him do the triple jump in the Olympics. Ojenkia, his roommate. Ojenkia is not as confident offensively, but he'll put his body on anybody no matter how big they are, and he'll box them out as far as he can. Taj, the other point guard that we ended up having while we were here, he's proven himself that he can be a point guard in the UBA. He is aggressive, he's smart, sometimes a little overly aggressive, and then once he learns that, pass the ball up, and especially in the transition when he's got the lead with 3-on-2s and 2-on-1s, if he gives up that ball a little more often, he's going to be excellent. BJ, he's not as big as you would expect, a kid like that, but he's getting stronger and he wants to be stronger. He's got a great first step, he dribbles the ball well, and he likes basketball and he likes to work hard, so he's going to be excellent. Ravi's a big kid, and he loves the game of basketball. He's got a great jump shot. Where we got to work on Ravi is his defense and his ability to move his feet. He also had a hurt back, so that kind of held him back a little bit as far as doing the defensive stuff. Udvir is a is a kid who has natural talent. There's a lot of things quirky about the way he does things. Again, because he was not taught the way we were in the U.S. That I didn't grab every one of them and change them because he's being very successful. I had a guest coach come in and watch him shoot free throws. Like, do we want to fix that? I'm like, we probably do, but he's shooting 80%, so we don't want to mess with it right now. And Ram, this kid can shoot the ball from anywhere. We just get him across half court and he'll let it fly. We just got to give him more patience. We got to teach him to let the ball travel, pass the ball more, then get that open shot at the end of the clock and finish it off.
The UBA Pro Training Camp finished during the week of a major American holiday, Thanksgiving. The players' final meal in the U.S. was a traditional Thanksgiving dinner with all the trimmings, fitting as they and all of us who took part in this experience have so much to be thankful for and so much to look forward to in the second season of the UBA.
I think there is a amazing year coming up.
I think it's going to be big this time, and I was thanking God the whole time that I got such a big opportunity that to be here.
I'll be continuing basketball as a part of my life.
Coming to USA, that changed everything.
So it's all going to be on them. How much will they take back with them and how much will they use it?
Season 2 will be, I think it will be much bigger than Season 1. So we'll have to practice more.
Now I have a platform that I can do something in basketball as well.
I think the next time you see me, I'm going to be much fitter and much better basketball.
I think they're going to be amazing.
The ride back to Sky Harbor Airport in Phoenix was much more energetic than the drive in.
पुलिस दा दखल पछाणे शक्ल ते रह गई चपल गवाही असल दे गया बंदा सर्दी सट ते लिया लक सुंगण गए जट ते टुटी लत ना रवे नरोई धीआं दी चुप ते फल्ली गुੱਤ ते अमली पत्तों नू दी कोकरी ना होई
He's gonna get an album when he gets back.
The uncertainty is gone, replaced by the knowledge that this UBA journey is only just beginning. What might have looked like goodbyes at the airport.
Full throttle. Keep it going, man. I miss you. Yeah, miss you. Okay?
In reality, were confirmations of bonds created by basketball and commitments of the reunions that await in Season 2 of the UBA.